So I got my first boyfriend at 32, almost 6 months ago, and I just broke up with him yesterday. And honestly, even though he was genuinely a sweet guy, I realized that his sweetness didn't actually account for anything. I started to think about so many different things because I was getting so frustrated so often, especially during the luteal phase, when I realized that he wasn't actually doing anything that filled my cup. And I realized that sex workers, for example, when a man tries to pay for a woman in some capacity, he is openly, transactionally paying for her. What he is paying for is literally her time, her attention, her energy, her presence, her intimacy. That's what they want from us. And so in that transaction, a man is giving resources in exchange for all of that emotional labor. That's what the dynamic is between men and women. And so I realized that I was giving this man what he wanted every day, even though I went about it very thoughtfully, even though I never overgave, which is why I'm not upset about having broken up with him last night. I was very respectful about it. I was neutral to kind about it. But first of all, I processed it every step of the way because I'm the one doing the emotional labor, right? So I was knowing why I was getting annoyed. I was knowing why I was getting frustrated. I was knowing where my needs weren't getting met, and I was communicating that. I was never begging, but I was also letting him know. And, I never gave intimacy quickly, so staggered. I really went by everything in levels that I was comfortable with after he gave me enough to achieve that point, as far as letting him into my apartment. It took so many months for him to even get to sit in my living room. I never cooked a meal for him. I never did those kinds of things. I never, started cleaning his place or anything like that. I wasn't over giving. I was just all right, well, if you want to spend time with me, yada, yada, yada. And I want to just say that I genuinely like this guy. He does have a good heart. He does. He was the first guy, which is why he was my first boyfriend, that I felt was safe. I never had to worry about him trying to push me into things or rob me. I felt comfortable even sleeping next to him eventually, and that was one of the last level ups he ever made with me. I let him stay over at my place, and he got to sleep in my bed 2 times, and I'm sure he had the best sleeps of his life. And that was towards the end where I was finally just you know what, before the last straws. And I just kind of went off on a little tangent there, got a little lost in what I was saying, but I'm so okay with this because I did not overgive. But as far as I'm concerned, he still has a debt with me. His problem is that he thinks that giving what he wants in a relationship makes it an equal give and take. Men want the communication, the access, the attention, the energy, the effort. They think that if they're putting that in and they're talking to you all day, that that's them giving you something. And even just having this one day where, it's noon and I haven't talked to him at all, I don't feel like I'm going without. I realize how it was costing me, how paying attention to him all day and thinking about him and blah, 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 that was for him. It wasn't for me. It was not for me. Because I don't need that. I am my own power source. I don't care if a man is inquiring about my day because he wants the access to it. I needed action from him. I needed him to be proactive. I needed him to anticipate. I needed him to lead in any sense of the word. And he just could not do that. And at the end of the day, it did not matter how sweet he was. It didn't matter how safe he was. These are literally like givens, you know? You can't just be nice. Duh. Like, what are you actually giving that I actually want? It's just like being fed dessert all day. I'm still fucking hungry. And actually, all the sweetness, all the sugar is just making me aggressive and hungry and fat at the same time. Like, the worst thing that could happen. So, yeah. I broke up with my first boyfriend that I ever had because he was good, but he wasn't good enough. And I don't miss him because he didn't give me anything that I really actually wanted or needed besides, like, oh, he existed. Cool. I don't know what that does for me. Alright, anyway, I just wanted to share. So if your story, if your relationship sounds anything like mine, I know I didn't go into that much detail, but just break up with him, because ultimately you're gonna feel better and you're gonna realize that it was costing you way more than you were actually getting out of it.